Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches layout, and this sketch is by Amanda Castle, and I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to take this 4 square sketch and actually turn it into a pocket page. So I've got my 4 photos, and this paper from Close to My Heart is perfect because it's already got the lines that represent each of the pockets. So I'm going to end up actually using some flip-flaps on a couple of these pictures because I want the single photo represented, but I had more than just one photo. So as you can see, these really cool lines are already pretty much well established, and this paper is from Close to My Heart. It was from a mix-in paper pad that they had, or paper set that they had back in, I think, 2023. So for each release of their catalogs or something like that, they had an add-on paper set that matched all of their paper collections beautifully if you wanted more papers to play with. All right, I also have this Distress ink in Hickory Smoke, and I'm going to be using this nondescript word, but I don't end up actually using it because I got so excited with these adorable little seagulls from the Scrap and Happy Studio Flair set. It was from their monthly box, I want to say in July or June, but I had seagulls in my pictures because that is one of the main birds that feast on the flies at Mono Lake. And so I thought, oh my gosh, these ones are wearing like overcoats and scarves and hats and things. They're just so dapper. So I can't wait to use them. And then I also pulled out these fussy cut pieces that I did from a Minte collection a while back. It's just something that I do on road trips. I sit there and I fussy cut out, and then that way they're already ready to go. And then from Simple Stories, the Vintage Seas collection, I have these faux brads that I would like to add to my layout as well. Now I know that I went for a blue and red type of embellishments, and my background is this misty green color, but in the end it actually still kind of works out because of these little bottles that I'm going to add. I don't end up adding tags like Amanda did on her sketch. I'm going to use the bottles as my tags if I can figure out how to make it work. But instead of decorating only 2 pieces, she's got 2 sections because she's reading it as a whole layout. I'm actually going to end up decorating all 4 of my little squares because, again, these are all going to go in a 6x6 pocket page. So the pocket page itself is 12x12, but each of the pockets are 6x6s. So I'm technically making 4 6x6 layouts, and I thought, oh, this is going to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to cut this branding strip in half. Again, it's from the same paper, just so that way I had a little bit of this paper to play with, because Amanda has a solid line, or I think it's supposed to represent a striped line. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure, but she's got that line going up and down, representing almost like a present. And so I really wanted to represent that as well with this branding strip, even though my paper already had like distressed lines going up and down. I thought, oh, this will be perfect too, because the distressed lines aren't right on the edge. And so these stripes, the branding strip, will bring those distressed lines closer to the edge by me adding it too. So I'm also not going to add it straight going down. I'm going to add it over here for this particular square. I'm going to add it on the left-hand side, but for my bottom square, where it's supposed to line up, I'm going to add it to the right-hand side opposite. So it's kind of crooked, kind of not. In the end, it'll look amazing. At least I think it will. And again, with that little separation of the pockets, you really won't notice that it's not straight up and down, because each little pocket will look like its own little layout in essence. So these are just photos of my family and I. We are at the visitor center in Mono Lake, and we are just, like I said before, when we go to museums or anything like that that is educational, we actually spend a lot of time reading what is there. Like, they put it there for a purpose, and we are one of those weird people that will spend the time educating ourselves. This was about how much salt Mono Lake has compared to Salt Lake, compared to the ocean. So that's why you see the 3 salt shakers in one of my photos. And then you also have wow, my battery died that fast. Anyways, I'm recording on my laptop today, you guys, and apparently I am almost dead. Hopefully it holds out for the voiceover. But anyways, we also see where the birds migrate, and that's what my son is demonstrating there. He's pushing all of the buttons, so all the lights light up instead of one at a time. And you can see the migration of the birds that come to Mono Lake, but how far they travel, because they're all little tagged and whatnot. And then, of course, there's a little area that shows the wildlife around Mono Lake that feed off of the lake itself. And then it tells you more about the, I think they're called tofa? I always say it wrong, you guys. But the rock formations that the residue of the lake provides. And so tufa. Oh my gosh. Anyways, they're rock formations and whatnot, and then there's different types of rock formations, or tufas, I should say, or tofas. I apologize. And so you go along and you read about that, and then in another area that is going to be the backside of this, you can actually see one of the huts that was made by the people that used to live around Mono Lake and whatnot, and so they had one of their huts and stuff. So it was just fabulous and fascinating, and like I said, my children just love to learn all this stuff and educate themselves, and then we talk about it in the car ride, you know, of what they read and what you found out and what did you find interesting and stuff like that. And so I like to document it just in case, you know, they don't remember our trips, or in case they want to share it with their children when they're older and things like that. So it's just one of the things that I enjoy documenting, if having these outings and whatnot, and how they just found education fun, or they found learning fun in all that they do. All right, you guys, so I am going to go ahead and just go through all of the cool things that I picked out. I picked out a lighthouse, even though there was no lighthouse. There's no boats coming into this lake or anything like that, but I liked how it framed my photo. So I really did enjoy that. I added a couple seashells, even though nobody's allowed to get next to the lake, so I don't know if they're seashells or not. And would they be lake shells, not seashells? I'm not sure. But I did love these little seagulls in their little jackets and hats and scarves. Oh my gosh, they just make me smile. So I definitely wanted to bring them in. I have a little anchor as well. Just a few fun little things. And like I said, it's not a whole lot of blue and red and in-your-face type of stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out where all of these shells are going to go and represent, but yet I didn't want it to be too much of a representation. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this washi tape as well in some dark areas, just to bring that embellishment underneath the photo a little bit more, but I'm actually adding it to the photo instead of, excuse me, I'm so sorry, instead of behind the photo or under the photo. So that helps me bring the embellishment around down along the bottom piece. So I'm going to do that again up in the top, I believe the top section of that photo where my hand is kind of covering up a little bit of the, I could have cut that photo down a little bit where my hand is covering the lens a little bit, but that's okay. I am a-okay with that. But I do end up bringing in a few more pieces of the washi tape and whatnot. So, yeah, just gluing everything down, trying to keep everything nice and flat. I did run all of my flare through my die cut machine to flatten the flare, so that way it is nice and flat. But when I flatten them, it creates a divot inside, and so I do have to use a little bit of foam tape to support that divot, so that way my flare doesn't cave inside. So even though I'm adding dimension, I'm not actually adding bulk to it. It's filling in that concave that was created by the die cut machine. So in case you guys are curious on what's going on. So I did add a little bit of that washi tape to all 4 of my photos in different directions and whatnot. I've got, looks like 3 of them going one way and 1 just going up and down, but that's okay. I didn't even notice that I added it to all of the photos. I thought I only added it to a few. And to finish off my layout, I'm going to go ahead and put some those faux brads all in all the clusters. Not too many, just a couple. And then here is where it'll look like when I add the flip-flap to the outside of my page protector. So I'm going to go ahead and do that later, but I think I only end up bringing in 2 of those. One right here and one right here. I don't know if I brought one in on the right sides or not. I don't think so. Maybe I did. Oh, this one, yes, I did, because I'm actually going to decorate that with a couple of my embellishments and then use that as my journaling as well. So, all right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. I had so much fun with this squared off layout. It really helped me create this 6x6 pocket page, because I really did struggle with the pocket page part of it. I wasn't sure how to decorate it and whether or not. So Amanda, thank you so much for such a fun sketch and help me with my pocket pages. That was really useful, really helpful. Don't forget to check out all of the links that I have down below for the playlist and the Facebook groups and whatnot, to go and see who else is creating with Amanda's sketch today. And thanks again for hanging out with me. I will check you guys all later. Bye!